Have you ever felt a quiet tightness in your chest? Not sharp, not urgent, but enough to make you pause. You sit on the edge of the bed, breathe in, and tell yourself it's probably nothing. But your heart keeps. And deep down, something doesn't feel right. After 65, heart health becomes one of the most silent and most misunderstood risks we face. The truth is, heart attacks in seniors don't always come crashing in like they show in the movies. They slowly and quietly. Sometimes the first sign is the last. But here's the good news: you are not powerless. There are small, science-backed habits that can deeply protect your heart, starting right now, without medications or fear. In today's video, I want to gently guide you through the hidden risks your heart may be facing and the simple choices that could make all the difference. Somewhere in the middle, I'll share the morning ritual that's helped dozens of my patients feel stronger and calmer. And near the end, I'll give you the one nighttime habit that can cut your heart attack risk in half. So, please stay with me because your heart is worth listening to. Part 1. The Silent Rise: Why Heart Attack Risk Doubles After 65. There's a reason heart attacks are often our silent killer. But after 65, the silence gets even louder. You've lived through decades of experiences, raising families, building careers, and caring for others. You've carried not only blood, but love, effort, and joy. Now, in this quieter chapter of life, your heart continues working behind the scenes. But here's the quiet truth: it's working harder than ever before. By the time we reach our late 60s, the risk of a heart attack doesn't just rise, it doubles. And the danger doesn't always show up as dramatic chest pain or sudden collapse. It often begins in much gentler, almost invisible ways, like a little less energy going upstairs, a heartbeat that skips once or twice, or a heaviness in the chest that disappears when you sit down. So, we brush it off, thinking we're just tired, or it's just age, but inside our arteries, things are changing quietly and consistently. Here's what happens after 65. Arteries become stiffer, like old garden hoses left out in the sun, making it harder for blood to flow freely. Plaque builds up slowly over time, narrowing the blood vessels. You may feel fine until one small piece breaks loose. The heart muscle weakens because of years of hidden inflammation, sugar, stress, and poor sleep. Blood pressure often rises even in people who eat well, just from hormonal and vascular changes. None of this is your fault, it's part of how the body ages. But when we ignore these changes, or assume they're normal, we miss the opportunity to take simple steps that could make a massive difference. Let me be clear: a doubled risk isn't a guaranteed fate, it's a call to awareness, a whisper from your bodiness. Now is the time to pay attention. That awareness is powerful because once you know what's happening, you can choose differently. You can eat, move, breathe, rest, and live in a way that supports your heart instead of stressing it. But if the danger often silent, how can we know when something's wrong before it's too late? In the next part, I'll show you 5 surprisingly subtle signs of heart strain that most seniors ignore, and how recognize them early could save your life. Part 2. Early warnings. 5 subtle signs most seniors' heart attacks don't always begin with chest pain. Begin with something as quiet as a nap that feels too long. We've been taught to expect the Hollywood heart attack, clutching your chest, collapsing, and calling 911, but especially after 65, the signs are often far more quiet. They don't scream, they whisper, and if we learn to listen, we can respond before the crisis hits. Here are 5 but powerful signs your heart might be asking for help. 1. Fatigue that feels different. You're used to feeling a little tired after a walk or chores. But lately that tiredness is deeper. You sit down and feel like you could fall asleep right there. This is often an early sign your heart isn't pumping blood efficiently, especially to your muscles and brain. 2. Shortness of breath doing basic tasks. You're brushing your hair, you're getting dressed, and suddenly need to pause, not from effort, but from a strange lack of air. This isn't about poor lung function, it can mean your heart is struggling to circulate oxygen, rich blood fast enough. 3. Mild pressure or discomfort. Not pain instead of a stabbing pain. It's more like a squeezing or heavening. It shows up in unexpected places, like your neck, your upper back, or your jaw, especially in women. This symptom is easy to miss and even easier to dismiss. 4. Sleep disturbances or anxiety at night. Your body wakes up at 2 a.m. alert but unsettled. Your heart is racing a bit and you feel something's off. This nighttime restlessness can be your nervous system responding to subtle drops in oxygen or changes in blood pressure. 5. Digestive changes, especially nausea without reason. You feel slightly queasy even though haven't you though unusual, there's no fever, no stomach bug, just a weird, unsettled gut. This kind of unexplained nausea, especially when paired with tiredness or sweating, can be an early signal, can be an older adult's Bob, 71. Thought he was just tired from mowing the lawn. He felt a little dizzy, went inside, had some water, and took a nap. When he woke up, the discomfort in his jaw and arm hadn't gone away. He almost ignored it, but his wife insisted they go in. And that trip saved his life. These signs don't always mean a heart attack is coming, but they do mean something is changing. And in your 70s, changes in the body are worth listening to, especially when they come quietly. Now that we know what signs to look for, let's talk about the daily habits that might be quietly pushing heart toward danger without you even knowing it. Part 3. The 4 daily habits slowly straining your heart. Sometimes it's not the big choices that quiet, familiar ones we never thought to question. Most people think heart health is only about avoiding fried food or going on a treadmill, but the truth is every day, especially the small things, matters even more. Some of the most damaging habits look so harmless. They're comfortable and familiar, but they can quietly pressure to your heart every single day. Let's look at 4 surprising daily habits that may be quietly working against your heart after 65. 1. Skipping breakfast or waiting too long to eat. You may not feel hungry early in the morning, and that for older adults. Skipping breakfast can lead to a drop in blood sugar and an increase in cortisol, your stress hormone. That morning stress can raise your heart rate and blood pressure, even if you're sitting still. Try starting your day with something light but nourishing, like warm oatmeal, banana slices, or a boiled egg. 2. Drinking coffee before water. It's a morning ritual for millions, but when your first drink is coffee, especially black coffee on an empty stomach, it can spike your stress hormones and dehydrate you. Your heart needs hydration to pump properly, and even just 1 glass of room temperature water before may make a big difference in how your heart starts the day. 3. Sitting too long after retirement. Sitting for hours and hours without moving can cause blood to cause and weaken circulation. Every 45 to 60 minutes, stand up and stretch your legs, even if it's just to walk to the kitchen. 4. Too much sodium in healthy foods. You may have cut back on salted chips or cured meats, but did you know canned soup, store-bought bread, and even cottage cheese can be high in sodium? As we age, our kidneys process sodium less efficiently. The result is water retention, higher blood pressure, and more strain on the heart. Try flavoring foods, garlic, or potassium-rich salt alternatives. None of these habits seem dangerous on their own, but day after day, they add up like small drops of pressure filling a balloon, and eventually, something gives way. The good news is, you don't need to overhaul your life, just notice, adjust gently, and your heart will feel difference, sometimes within days. Now that we've explored parts of our lives that can strain the heart, let's look at the foods that quietly protect your heart. Not all foods need to shout for attention to be beneficial. Even just 2 servings of fish per week will boost health. If fish isn't your thing, flaxseed or cheese can be gentle alternatives. 2 leafy greens like spinach, beet greens, and arugula are packed with nitrates that naturally dilate your vessels, improving circulation. They're also rich in nutrients that help your heart stay steady and strong. Toss them in salads or soups. 3. Colorful fruit is satisfying and full of nutrients. Berries, in particular, have been shown to improve blood vessel function, which is good news for the heart. 4. Dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate contains flavonoids that improve blood flow and reduce clotting, and let's be honest, sometimes joy is heart medicine, too. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. It's better to have spinach twice a week for months than perfect heart meal once and never again. Small, steady steps nourish your heart gently over time, But your plate isn't the only place healing happens. Sometimes it begins in your emotions, in the quiet moments of loneliness or connection. And that's what we'll explore next. Part 5, the emotional link, how loneliness affects the heart. Loneliness doesn't always echo loudly, but the heart hears it every time. We often focus on food, exercise, and blood pressure when we think about heart health, but there is another fire. Deeper, often overlooked, yet just as powerful. Emotional connection. After 65, many people begin to feel a shift. Friends move away, loved ones pass, daily responsibilities fade, the calendar becomes emptier, the phone rings less often. And without realizing it, the heart begins to carry a heavier emotional weight. Science now confirms what we've always sensed: loneliness triggers the body's stress response. Cortisol rises. That elevation, when prolonged, can cause arteries to stiffen, blood pressure to climb, and inflammation to spread. This internal tension quietly wears down the heart. Over time, researchers have linked chronic isolation to a significantly higher risk of heart disease and stroke. In fact, feeling socially disconnected has been shown to be as harmful to the heart as long-term smoking, and yet, like smoking, loneliness doesn't have warning labels. It arrives in silence, and it stays unless we choose to break it. The solution isn't found in big events or large groups. What the heart truly needs is steady, gentle connection, small moments of human contact, a voice, a glance, a shared word. These interactions send a message to the nervous system. You are not alone, you are still part of the world. The healing begins not with grand gestures, but with small routines, a short conversation, a smile exchange, a smile of face recognized. When these become regular, they begin to soften the body's stress signals, slow the heartbeat, lower blood beat, and reduce inflammation. Your emotional life is not separate from your physical heart. It speaks through it, and by nurturing connection, you're nourishing your heart in ways no pill can replace. Now that we've uncovered how your feelings shape your heart, let's explore how the way you begin your day and quietly strengthen and protect it one breath at a time. Part 6, your heart's daily rhythm. A simple 3-step morning practice. The first 5 minutes at healing or quietly set your heart on edge. Our mornings matter more than we realize, especially after 65. The way we wake up can shape how our heart behaves for the rest of the day. During sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops, but the moment you open your eyes, your body shifts gears. Your heart begins working harder, hormones surge, and blood thickens slightly. This makes early morning one of the most vulnerable times for heart events, especially in older adults. But here's the hopeful part. You can guide your heart gently into the day with just 3 simple habits. They take less than 10 minutes, cost nothing, and offer steady protection if practiced consistently. Step 1, start with a glass of lukewarm water. Not cold, not hot, just room temperature or slightly warm. This rehydrates your blood after 6 to 8 hours of sleep and lowers the morning thickness that increases clot risk. You can even add a few drops of lemon, not for flavor, but to gently awaken digestion and circulation. Step 2, sit by a window or step outside for 5 minutes of sunlight. Sunlight helps your body produce nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels and lowers pressure. It also regulates your circadian rhythm, supporting sleep at night and calm energy during the day. Even cloudy works. Just being in natural light tells your body the day has begun. Step 3, do 5 minutes of hand-to-heart breathing. Sit with one hand gently over your heart, inhale slowly seconds, exhale for 6, and repeat while silently saying, I am safe, I'm steady. This simple practice activates the vagus nerve, which slows the heartbeat, lowers cortisol, and shifts your body into a state of calm repair. These 3 steps might feel small, but practiced daily, they send powerful messages to your cardiovasculars. You're not in danger. You don't need to rush. You're supported. Over time, these tiny morning rituals help reset your heart's rhythm quietly, kindly, and with lasting effect. Part 7. Night watch, protecting your heart while you sleep. Most heart attacks happen between 3 and 6 a.m., not during stress, not during exercise, but while their heart is supposed to rest. You might think sleep is a time of recovery, and it is, but for the aging heart, nighttime is also a time of risk. After 65, the body's ability to regulate blood pressure, blood flow, and breathing becomes more fragile. While you sleep, your heart still works every second, every beat. Understanding what happens in the body during the night can help you create a safer, more supportive sleeping environment. One that reduces heart strain instead of silently increasing it. Let's look at 5 gentle ways to protect your heart while you sleep. 1. Eat dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Late night meals force your heart to keep working when it should be slowing down. Digestion pulls blood to the stomach, raises your core temperature, and can trigger nighttime blood pressure. Spiced in earlier helps your system unwind naturally. 2. Elevate your legs slightly while sleeping. This simple adjustment reduces pressure on the heart by helping return more easily from the lower body. A small pillow under your calves can improve circulation, especially if you have swelling or varicose veins. 3. Take a warm bath or foot soak before bed. Warm water opens blood vessels, lowers cortisol, and signals the nervous system to relax. Even a 10-minute soak can transition your body into sleep mode and gently lower your blood pressure. 4. Sleep on your left side if possible. This position reduces pressure on the largest vein, returning blood to your heart. It also supports better lymphatic drainage and breathing patterns. If left side sleeping isn't comfortable, try using a pillow between your knees to ease your hips and spine. Keep a glass of water by your bed. Nighttime dehydration is common, and even mild dehydration thickens the blood, making the heart work harder. A few sips of water, if you wake up during the night, can help your heart stay at ease. These small shifts simple, but they speak directly to your heart. They say you're safe, you're supported, and you can rest. When your heart feels that, your sleep becomes more restorative, not just for your body, but for your life. Now that we've explored how to care for your heart during sleep, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Does your heart's greatest strength doesn't just come from habits. It comes from hope, connection, and choosing to live gently every day. Your heart has been with you through it all, the laughter, the grief, the love, and the waiting. It remembers our high and low. Not just as a muscle, but as a witness to your life. After 65, the world may slow down, but your heart still wants to give. It still wants to feel purpose, rhythm, and peace. As you've seen today, taking care of your heart doesn't your fraction. You don't need strict diets, exhausting workouts, or endless medications. You just need to listen to the whisper of your morning breath, to the silence of your emotions, and to the rhythm of your rest. Healing doesn't shout, it shows up in small sips of water before bed, in the sunlight on your face at 7 a.m., and in the hand gently resting over your chest as you breathe, and say, I'm still here. Let this not just be another health video. Let it be a reminder you matter. You're not too late, you're not alone. And your heart, still beating and still faithful, is ready to be your companion for this next chapter. If this video gave you peace or clarity, I invite you to share your thoughts below, and maybe even forward it to someone you care about. Because sometimes the best way to heal is to help someone else feel seen.